What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wars in the Stars, episode number 76. Is this not a bit?
Oh, I was gonna do what I just said right before we went live. I was gonna try to talk over you and do the intro, and then I choked on my food, and then I tried to drink to make it go down, and then I choked on the drink.
So this is take two. I was supposed to. I didn't hit the live button like 3 minutes ago, so Alex and I were talking, and nothing happened. So nobody saw that. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wars of the Stars, episode number 76. Today we're going to do a Miss Marvel episode 6 review. We're going to have a big discussion because this episode had big ramification at the end. Alex, first off, how are you doing?
I'm eating chicken.
That's all. I had chicken. I mean, I had, like pan-fried chicken. Did you have like...
I have I don't even know. Meyer chicken.
What is that?
You don't have the store called Meyer?
No, we live like thousands, not thousands, but like hundreds of miles away. You live in the Midwest, I live in the Northeast. Oh, it's like a grocery store, right?
It's like a weird offshoot Walmart.
Yeah, I have like a Shaw's. You haven't heard of a Shaw's, I'm guessing.
No.
Right, exactly. See, why were you so surprised that different regions had different stores?
Oh no.
Man. Is it good?
It's cold because we got it.
That's good though.
We got
chicken's good.
It is good, but we got it hours ago and I was at work, so.
I see.
I'm eating cold chicken, but it is what it is because it's good.
So before we get into the topics, next week Alex and I will be doing a WandaVision re-review. We've watched 6 episodes so far. We'll give our thoughts next week.
Yep.
And then the following week we will do a Falcon and the Winter Soldier re-review. And in that episode we will also discuss our thoughts on Phase 4 so far and where do we think Phase 4 is going. So really excited about that because Alex and I, we knew each other at that point, but we didn't review those shows together. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Do we want to discuss the big thing right off the bat?
Yeah, how good this episode was.
It was good, man. It was solid. I can't say it's the best finale because I just love Jonathan Majors' performance as he remains in Loki. But overall, this was like a really solid finale for a show that obviously is a mixed bag. Mm-hmm. I still have some problems. The Department of Damage Control is just, it is what it is. They're not good villains.
They're the flag smashers of the show.
Right, exactly. But everything from Kamala's story, I mean, I know you must be really happy. We saw her embiggen in powers.
Yeah, she said the thing.
Embiggen.
Except different. And we'll talk about why, because spoiler alert, it's not inhuman abilities.
No.
It's mutant abilities.
Correct.
Very weird of the change, but I'm all here for it.
So my thing is like, I was thinking about to say, I'm like, I don't know how I sit with Kamala Khan being the first mutant introduced in the MCU. And I also think what's going to happen is they're going to retroactively also make Wanda and Pietro in the MCU mutants as well. I think that's the same case. The Mind Stone just amplified their powers, but they had the X gene.
And I think what the MCU is doing, and it's the smart thing to do, is they're not going 100% the mutant route, and they're not going 100% the Inhumans route. They're combining them. So they're taking the part of Inhumans where there was an activating gene. There was an activation part of it.
Right.
In the comics, it's Terrigen Mist. Brings them into the process of Terrigenesis. With Kamala, it was the bangle that enabled her powers. And then with Wanda and Pietro, it was the Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone.
Now that does, and then we can also then maybe presume Captain Marvel's a mutant because her powers were activated
Whoa,
by the.
whoa, 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 whoa!
She was
Really?
active. She was activated by the space stone. It's not too far fetched.
I don't know
Not.
how I would feel about that.
I mean, you got to think like it was only a matter of time until the mutants were coming. Okay.
Right, but my other thing is like we have nothing on the docket that's been announced either by a Hollywood trade or by Marvel Studios themselves within the next couple of years that indicates mutants.
I mean, we got
But
X-Men 97.
right, but for all we know, that's just a continuation of the story,
It is, yeah.
the animated story. So it's like that's in a separate universe.
Yeah.
So my thing is like I am more fascinated in Kamala being a mutant than whatever the hell she does in the Marvels. What I think would be an interesting route for the character after is that we see that there's already the X house. There's already Xavier's house.
Yeah.
I would in the school for children. I would think it's just like it'd be weird, but I think you could do a thing where you already have Xavier around, but you just don't have the other mutants. I mean, I for sure think it's a really interesting decision. When he said it and the theme played, I was like, bro, what? And I love the memes about Kevin Feige and Inhumans.
Dude, it's so funny that it's just like I don't get his hatred for them. Like, I don't get it. Like,
right. I mean, they've been around. I did my research today. They've been around since the 60s.
Yeah, like they haven't been around since Miss Marvel's been around, which was 2014. They've been around for a while.
Right.
And it's like, again, you got to think, like, we've already seen in Inhuman, we saw Black Bolt.
Correct.
We've seen a mutant. We saw Professor X.
Xavier, yeah.
So it's weird. If you're able to do Inhumans in one universe, but not the MCU, it's like, why?
I think the argument there, though, is that since it's an alternate universe, they could do what they wanted. But yeah.
Like, it's just like if it didn't hurt to do it in that universe, it wouldn't hurt to do it in this universe either.
Yeah, I
just
I don't know. Sense. I don't get the hatred for the Inhumans. I mean, they're not. To me, they're not as compelling as the X-Men, right?
And that's the thing, is that was essentially the point. They're known as the knockoff mutants.
Right.
That was their whole creation. Was they're just knockoff mutants.
But and obviously, we know with. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
And obviously, we know with Marvel Studios, the whole idea was that before the merger, before they got Fox, right? Yep. Disney got Fox. There was originally announced a Inhumans film post Endgame.
Yeah.
Because originally at the time, I can't remember his name. He was the sexist dude who was the head of the studio.
I don't even know.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I think so.
Yes, he was big on the Inhumans replacing the X-Men.
For some
reason. And then that got scrapped and turned into a show, which is the worst show ever. Like the worst.
It's pretty bad.
Show ever. Like Black Bolt is terrible.
And I remember watching it, seeing like, oh wow, this looks pretty cool. Miniseries based on Inhumans.
Nope.
And then I remember leaving the series being like, wow, I'll never get any of that time that I just wasted back.
Yeah, it was terrible. It's horrible.
It's a bad series. But I recommend people watch it just to see how bad it is.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have a good laugh. Yeah, so and then obviously it's come out that Feige's not a huge fan of the Inhumans. And then I remember when Doctor Strange was coming out, we were talking about who the Illuminati member is going to be. And I remember having a conversation specifically with my friend because the Black Bolt rumors were going around. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, I don't see Feige putting in a Black Bolt as an Inhuman. I don't see that happening, even though it's an alternate universe.
Yep.
Just because Feige has a pure hatred for the Inhumans, and then he did it. I was like, whoa.
And again, it's also to know it's not like pure hatred. It's a deep, deep hatred for them.
Yes, it's just like Kamala Khan. I mean, we could make an argument. She's one of the better known Inhumans, right?
Probably
I think you could,
the most known.
right? Now she's a mutant, right? And
Yeah.
I still don't know how to feel about it, but I think ideally her story is going to be going to the school of Xavier. I think that would just make the most sense for her after the Marvels, and that's the way you introduce Xavier.
Yeah.
But it's just so crazy to me. If you would have told me that the MCU's first announced
Yeah.
mutant would be
Is
Kamala Khan, I would be like, what?
Yeah. Like it was already because again, I had told you when we were talking. I don't even remember what episode we were talking about or what episode we were on. We had already known that Kamala's powers in episode 6 were going to be big. They're going to be different to what we've seen in the series at that time.
Hmm.
And so again, to me, it's just it's a weird change. It feels, I dare I may say, pointless. I don't know how I feel about them changing it because now it went from changing her powers to now you're changing her history.
Right. But I want to also add this caveat. I want to play devil's advocate.
Yep.
So a big part of this story was oppression. This was a big idea throughout the show. It's through we see the oppression that the British Empire had and Aisha and the rest of the Pakistani and Indian people during partition, and then the infighting afterwards as the British Empire left. Right,
Yeah.
a big idea of oppression. We also see that through the Department of Damage Control, who Inakia talks about it a lot with the mosque. Right, the mosque is under 24/7 surveillance because they are not able to execute their rights as American citizens to have the right to religious freedom, right? Because of scrutiny about their religion and them overall. So that's a big idea. What are the X-Men known for? Being oppressed people, right? Magneto being a Jew, and obviously the Nazi regime being a big part of his story, the Holocaust and that sort of thing. It makes a lot of sense then for Kamala's case, her being a Pakistani, a Muslim girl who's now a superhero. And it's expounded upon in the show that it may not be seen by the world as a positive, and we can see that. It's not seen as a positive by the Department of Damage Control through their microaggressions. So I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. But that's also the Inhumans too. But I also think like the mutants are just cooler. But at the same time, I don't want every Inhuman to be a mutant. Like I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I lean towards more the fact that I like it because I think it's gonna make more sense for the MCU.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's a massive change. Like her being a mutant is huge.
Yeah. It is massive. And again, I think the big thing to remember about it being so massive is that, it now kind of puts into rule we're not getting Inhumans. And it sucks.
You don't think we get them at all?
No. Well, you took away their face, basically, and made her a mutant, and so it's it's an interesting move fueled with weird hatred. Kevin Feige doesn't like Inhumans like Anakin doesn't like sand. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's, I get it. The Inhuman show was bad, but holy shit. You hated it that much. You're just like, never.
Well, not just that. I don't get the other logical explanation is they don't want to introduce too much because if you had Inhumans, mutants, and the Fantastic Four running around, that's a lot of stuff. And the Avengers, that's a lot of stuff, right? That's a lot of stuff. But if they're gonna do whatever 9 projects a year, it's really not. If you think about it,
I was gonna say, what do you mean too much stuff? 14 projects in 2 years,
right? Yeah, you could totally make that counter argument. But then again, it's just the fact that the mutants are much more interesting, and their story came first. Their story was much more compelling.
Yeah, it's also important to remember that when you look also at everything, like just imagine if Inhumans, mutants, and all that. Think we would have on Earth, we would have, or in the cosmos, we'll say, we'll
Right.
have, we'd have the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Fantastic Four, the mutants, the Inhumans, the
Eternals.
Eternals, the enhanced, the I guess the Infinity Stone enhanced,
Yes.
um, the
Beings.
sorcerers,
Yeah.
yeah, like celestials, gods, like,
Right.
and then could you just imagine you're gonna be like God, I would just oh, just sometimes, man, just sometimes. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but
Oh,
no.
Jesus. Oh, no.
I don't. Oh no. Yeah, I'll keep talking. I totally agree. It's a lot of stuff, right? And even with the volume of projects we have, it feels like we get lost sometimes. Like with the Infinity Saga, we were just focusing on the Avengers. And now it's drastically changed. Now where it seems like we're focused on numerous different teams. But the problem is you don't really get to connect with those teams because those teams are so distant in the relative time that they're released, right? So for example, let's talk about the Eternals. The Eternals movie came out last November, right? 2021. We know that that movie is going to get a sequel directed by Chloe Zhao, most likely again. When is that coming out? What is that going to come out? That's that, and we're probably not going to get any Eternals content until
Ever.
we see Eternals 2. It's happening. Reported by Deadline. I think it's going to happen. But like that's my whole point here, Alex. Is like I understand that we have a lot of projects, but the thing is like we've gone so drastically away from the Infinity Saga, where it was just the Avengers, where now we have like 4 or 5 different teams, but you don't get to see those teams like every year. You see them like every 3 years, so you don't build a connection with them. And that's what I worry about if you also had the Inhumans and Mutants, because you're kind of telling a very similar story about how they're oppressed. I know the Inhumans, they're cast out to the moon, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. But you're telling a very similar story there. And I also, my only thing is just like, there's so many cool X-Men, like Kamala being the first one. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. I mean, I think it's better than going the Inhuman route for the MCU's sake, but I just don't know about Kamala being the first unless, and I say that because her next project's going to be the Marvels.
Yeah.
So like, and now she's not even on Earth. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
I would think the most logical thing after that would be her going to Xavier's house, the mutant mansion. I just like, but now that's not going to happen for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you were going to do Kamala as the first mutant, it's pretty logical. She's a kid. Go meet Professor X. And then through Professor X, we see that there are other mutants popping up or that have been alive.
Wolverine, Rogue, yeah. Oh, I get you.
Jean Grey. I mean, just like, that's how I feel. I don't know how do you think, because there's got to be some importance to Kamala being the first mutant. She's got to be the thing that kicks this off. What do you think happens?
Yeah, I honestly kind of think with that, I think after the Marvels, she'll probably go off and search for other people like her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of how I'm thinking. But I do have a question for you about that, though. Do you think that means then that we could see every mutant kind of have that crystallizing power? Or is that just specific to Kamala?
The hard light?
No, yeah, sure.
No, I don't think so.
Good.
I don't
know,
want to see Professor X doing this. It just hard light comes out of him. No, I don't want to see that. But it's gonna be really interesting to see, like,
Stop!
it's gonna be really interesting to see how they do. other mutants?
I don't know, man. We gotta hope that San Diego Comic Con can we get an announcement of a mutant or an X-Men project, because we are beyond overdue in the MCU for it.
Yeah, gonna be very very exciting. So let's talk about the post credit scene.
Wacky is one word
Oh,
I could.
I was like, what? What just happened?
I know, because again, my thing with this was like, oh, I feel like with her transforming into Captain Marvel, I was like, oh, I think it's a little too late to do that, because that's kind of Kamala's arc in the comics, is that she constantly transforms herself to look like Carol Danvers because she's insecure about herself. But then it clicked to me. I was like, wait, she didn't transform. They swapped places.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if she's out in space flying? Well, Kamala's dead. Nice knowing you. No, most likely she's on like a Kree base or whatever.
She's fighting the damn Kree. Like, what just happened? What?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I can't wait for that to open up in the Marvels and just like Carol having a conversation with Kamala's mom and dad, and then Carol's like, "Oh, she's fine," and then you see a bunch of Kree shooting at her.
Where is my beta at? What have you done to her? I don't know how any of this happened. My whole thing was this, okay?
I'm so confused about how this. So
I
the
have a
bands
theory.
are obviously the nega bands, right?
Maybe.
But
I have
then
a theory.
that's Kree technology. So
I
that's
think Monica, Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel all swapped powers, and we're having a Freaky Friday.
So wait, did they all
Exclusive.
swap places and powers?
So you could make the thing. Monica has Kamala's powers. Kamala has Captain Marvel's powers, and Captain Marvel has Kamala's powers. I think that would be a cool thing to explore, is them having to then
Holy
reverse
crap.
it. Could you imagine, like stuff like that? Or I'm sorry, I spoke wrong. Let me reconfigure this. Monica has Kamala's powers.
Okay.
Kamala has Captain Marvel's powers, and Captain Marvel. No, I configured that wrong again. Captain Marvel has Miss Marvel's powers. Miss
Mhm.
Marvel has Photon's powers, and Photon has Captain Marvel's powers. That's my weird jiggy wiggy way of configuring everything.
Why do you think that happened?
The bangle. Why not? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna be explained.
Yeah. And my
But
thing also is just like, it's like we knew she had to show up in the show, but it's just like, it's so weird. Again, it's like, are we about to have a Freaky Friday kind of thing going on right now, where we swapping bodies?
she's been in 2 Phase 4 projects so far, and both in post credit scenes.
I know, dude. Captain Marvel, when the post credit scenes are better than the movie. Oh, what's so funny? Did
I can't. I'm not gonna. No comment.
no comment? Wow.
I can't believe it. This guy is gonna get us in trouble, man. This guy's gonna get us in trouble.
Don't make shitty movies, I guess.
Oh my.
Sorry.
No, I don't think Photon's involved with this at
Dude,
at all. Wow.
Come on.
No, I don't think so. I just think that
Then what's the fucking point of her being in the movie?
I don't know. I feel like she's got to be like the mediator. Like she's the one tasked with finding Miss Marvel.
The mediator?
Yeah.
Why?
It's like,
if anything, I think it's going to be her tackling the past with Carol about why she doesn't like
oh
her
yeah,
anymore.
for sure. But I think Carol's going to give her a mission to find Miss Marvel.
Maybe
there's too many Marvels here. Jesus Christ.
Photon, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Marvel Studios, Marvel Comics.
So I think these are the nega bands that the Kree made and somehow they transported and switched places. Now it'd be really funny that if in the movie it's a joke that they switch places all the time,
Mm,
but
yeah.
they have some type of connection. Obviously, Miss Marvel's a fangirl. I'm just so super confused how this bangle. I mean, I assume Carol does have Kree tech,
Yep. Very
right? So
involved with the Kree also.
right, so some type of connection there. I don't know. I thought it was a really good post credit scene.
Hmm.
Really interesting. Really
It's ominous.
right.
It leaves you like, oh, what?
Um, and I'm really excited for the Marvels because I think they got a good cast there. I really do think that that movie can improve upon the things I had a problem with Captain Marvel. I think Amon Vellani is great. I'm excited to see her on the big screen. I mean, it's still not my most anticipated project by far.
But it
Uh,
definitely shot up there.
it definitely did. It definitely did. So yeah, let's talk about the episode itself. I guess. Got any highlights you want to discuss or lowlights?
Dude, just the whole crew was just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody coming together and whatnot. I will say, I love Kamala's parents, but holy, they're stupid. Yelling, yeah, like yelling out for Kamala while she's like fighting. Kamala! Who? Oh, no one. I didn't say that. Like that's the kind of shit I was imagining was about to happen. Like, why are you yelling her name and all that out loud? What are you doing? That was what
I
I was
mean, it's
imagining.
pretty easy to identify her. Like she literally just has.
It's the worst disguise, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I really try to keep it in. It's an awful disguise to have. Literally, look, Drew. Can you tell it's not me anymore? Alex is gone.
Yeah.
I'm what remains. JK, it's still me. No, it's not.
So maybe that they'll go with the route that she doesn't. I think so because this was very much like her first comic
Yeah.
appearance was about her accepting herself, right? Her
Yeah.
accepting
Well,
herself.
it's also just so weird again because it's just like you think like, oh, the whole story of like is she wears her costume because it's to conceal her abilities. No, no, she openly uses them without any disguise.
I don't mind it.
I don't either. It's a fresh take, but it's just like, well, then don't give her, don't give her a disguise. Then you know what? It
The
reminds.
mask just looks cool. Oh
Hold on,
god.
look. It's
Oh, you
my
did the Thor thing.
disguise.
You're doing the Thor thing.
I can't see me when I cover this side of my face.
You
But
did the
anytime
Thor
I'm in
thing.
public, towel comes off.
It's just like a Jedi when they put their robes over there.
Yes, it's just like, are you a Jedi? It's
uh,
literally the same thing.
yeah, right, right, right. Um, I what I really love about this episode was that it was like a very nice blend of Home Alone
Yep.
and Spider-Man. I got so
Yep.
many Spider-Man vibes. I got like a early 2000s Raimi trilogy Spider-Man film, the end fight of any of the films really, like with Doc Ock, with
Yeah.
Sandman, like just everyone surrounding um the perimeter cheering on their neighborhood hero. And obviously this one had more of an impact too because it was had a lot of cultural impact too, right? Having the like first Muslim superhero, obviously. And it was a way for the town to like in the community to reinvigorate themselves
Yeah.
through Kamala Khan. It was just a really, really nice touch, really, really nice moment. And it was also small in scale, right? It's just her fighting in front of a high school, right?
Yeah.
It's against the Department of Damage Control, which again we still don't know why they're going after these people.
But hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the shit now. Now they don't want to go after her because it's bad publicity.
Right, it's bad press. As Spider-Man No Way Home detective dude said, what is his name?
Cleany, clean,
Okay,
clean,
and her
clean.
name is Devier, Miss.
Ms. Racist. That's what,
Mr.
that's what I'm
Racist,
calling her.
Mr. Racist, Mr. Microaggression,
Exactly. Like,
and Miss Stupid. She didn't even know an Abe Lincoln quote. That was so funny. I died
I know.
laughing at that
I know.
scene.
It was literally, it's an Abe Lincoln quote. Actually, it was Abe Lincoln. And I little look back, I was just like, oh, come on. You can't be mad at him for that. Like, he got you there.
They
He,
got you.
he got you there.
That was so funny. That was
Caught
so
you,
funny.
caught you slipping right there. Like, caught you full on lacking. But,
Yeah, the Department of Damage Control very confusing people. I don't know what their what their job is. I don't.
the
They're
job
obviously
is just to make people's lives hell.
they're obviously their job is meant to arrest superhero children.
Or I don't think it's superhero children. I think it's enhanced individuals, but it's just like they specifically seem to only go after children.
Right. Why aren't you going after Bucky? Like, is he
Like,
not a super soldier?
I was gonna literally say, like, he's a literal Nazi. But you know what? Who knows? Who freaking
He's too hard to go after. Let's go after a 16-year-old girl. Let's do it.
Exactly.
It's
That's it.
and they still couldn't even arrest her. The Department of Damage Control,
They're
the most
dumb.
yes,
They're
they're
dumb.
just stereotypical dumb police
dumb,
force.
dumb government people.
Yeah, dumb government people that we're supposed to take seriously, and we're like, no. I'm happy that Devere, whatever the heck her name is now gone. We just need to get rid of Spider-Man Detective Dude. Cleany.
Spider-Man Detective Dude.
Yeah, that's his name.
That's a violation.
But all of a sudden he was like, yeah, let's just not arrest her. Bad press. It's not because the optics look bad and you're arresting a girl. It's just bad press. Bad press.
It's also, it's not bad that you're like invading a school or anything. Like, bad press. It looks bad.
It looks bad. My favorite moment, it had me like, it didn't have me tearing up, but it had me like emotional, was that final scene on the roof. With Kamala's dad and her, and they're having the conversation about what Kamala means in Urdu and Arabic, and it means Marvel. I love how she gets her name. I thought it was a fantastic touch. A lot better than Nightlight, obviously, and also her costume looks great. And it's weird that they changed it in the Marvels. The costume looks fantastic.
I haven't seen her Marvel's costume, but I did hear about it changing.
It is changing. I love that the red dagger thing she still has. It looks awesome. It looks great on screen. I will say this show is visually one of the best looking shows. I love how the creative team, they got to do their animated thing when she's making up the plan.
Yeah.
That was really well done. I think the humor hit with me better this episode. I think this show kind of struggled with comedy a bit, but Kamala's brother is hilarious when they're shooting the baseballs, and he's like, "Yes, I think we got him," and then they come up behind him. I thought just overall the cast was good. The family dynamic, again, fantastic. Kamala accepting herself. It's just classic coming of age story that I thought was really well executed at the end. A show that I think in the middle had some problems. I don't think the clandestines were great. And again, I think a big problem with that is the 6-episode format. You can't expand things. Like, you can't expand on side characters because you don't have enough time. And I think the show also struggled with pacing a little bit, especially in the early parts. But once it found its footing, I thought,
really good.
3, 5, and 6 were solid.
I'd say even 4 was really good.
4 was good. Yeah, I would say the latter half of the show, it kept getting better and better. And I agree with what you were saying for the last couple of weeks, that it just steadily got better and better.
Yeah, I think when we look at Disney Plus as a whole, it's funny that it's very rarely any of these shows actually fit a show format. If I were to go through every like Star Wars and Marvel show, I could maybe let's see, The Mandalorian, Loki.
Yeah, I could even make an argument though that yeah, Loki a show. Book of Boba Fett a show for sure.
You could cut down
Really?
some
You
of
couldn't?
those. You could cut down some of those flashbacks and have less of them.
Sure. Kenobi definitely a film.
Yeah, and then again, you go through. Oh, WandaVision. Sorry, we're watching it, and I forgot about it.
Yeah,
But
a
literally
show.
though, yeah,
Yeah,
literally though, you go through
Falcon
that.
the Winter Soldier, a lawn
You,
movie.
you then literally you go through every other show. The Book of Boba Fett should have been a movie. Kenobi should have been a movie. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier should have been a movie.
Hawkeye,
Hawkeye should have been a movie. Moon Knight
Moon
should
Knight.
have been a movie. Should have been a movie. And I feel the same way about this show. Should have been a movie. It would have just worked better. Like again, I think episode 1 and 2 really struggled with the timing parts of it. I think it kind of had the inverse effects of Kenobi, where the episodes in Kenobi were too short and the episodes in Miss Marvel were too long.
Yeah, too dragged. Too much
Yes,
dragged. It
especially
felt very much like, you write. It's hard to write a show, obviously, right? Because you got to write episodes, right, that build off of each other. Movies just point A to point B. I feel like writing a television show would be much more difficult.
yeah, absolutely.
It just
And-
feels like sometimes there's a lot of filler content. There's
Yeah,
just a lot of stuff that's
and
there.
And I honestly think what Disney should start doing is start releasing movie versions of these series.
Yeah.
Like again, we talked
As
about it.
even as a test to see how
Yes.
audiences feel, gauge how people perceive it.
Yeah. It's another thing. Also, we might. I don't know if we talked about this on the show or just in private. The guy who did the Kenobi movie, he took the Kenobi series and condensed it into a film. We both agree. We both watched it. It's better. It works better as a movie. Now, yes, it has its shortcomings for me personally as a fan, but overall, it works better. And could you imagine if that is what we got released on Disney Plus? Like, I just like, I just can't help but imagine like what would have been the series if it was a movie.
Right, because again, a movie you wouldn't have those complaints like you did with episode 4 of Kenobi or
Yeah.
episode 3 or any of that, because you would have just saw the whole thing. And
Mhm.
Miss Marvel, I feel like the earlier episodes just dragged. They just
Too
dragged
long.
for me.
It's again, I think when we get towards episodes 4, 5, and 6,
Yeah,
it gets
really well paced.
It gets timing down, pacing down, narrative down.
Like
Gets it
this
really
episode,
well.
I always look for the balance between action and slow down. Like when you slow down and have important dialogue. This episode nailed it.
Yeah.
I also want to add, I thought Kamran's story was really interesting at the end.
Yeah. He
He's
goes
obviously
from
now
being
has
murderous to not.
powers, and obviously he's
Yep.
gonna be with the Red Daggers. But I also felt more with this show that it definitely deserves a season 2. It's one of those shows that like it doesn't
Yeah.
have a definitive end.
But it's also key to realize that this is labeled a season finale. Unlike Moon Knight, Hawkeye for a time, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, those were all sold as series finales. Now again, Hawkeye, they retroactively went back and said it was a
Well,
comedy.
no, Moon Knight they changed it too, but it's the season.
Oh yeah,
finale.
Moon Knight did have it changed to the season finale. So I think that's obvious that we're gonna get a season 2. It'll probably be the follow up to the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
it's gonna be big with the mutants. I think it's gonna be big on with Kamala discovering other mutants and that sort of story, which I think is gonna be really, really compelling.
And I think honestly, I think if we look forward into the future, I think we look at Quantumania. It's the next big movie.
Right.
It's Kang's debut, not Jonathan Majors. It's Kang the Conqueror's debut.
Right. It's not He Who Remains, yeah.
It's the big boy this time.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to spoil anything about the plot or anything that we saw, or the test screening that we saw, or we heard about.
We didn't see. We didn't see it though.
We didn't see it. We didn't see it. We read it. We talked. We saw some stuff. Words. We saw words. But I gotta think from Quantumania going forward, it's time to start building us to Secret Wars.
Right.
We got who we think is going to be the perpetrator of the event with Kang the Conqueror. Now we gotta just get there. Etienne, I think when we talk about the Phase 4
By the way, I have a
reflections,
question before you go deeper into this. So
Yeah.
recently, Kamala or Iman Vellani reprised her role as Kamala in that Disney cruise ship thing, and she was with a bunch of Avengers. Do you think she's going to be an Avenger, or do you think she's going to be a part of the X-Men team?
she'll be an Avenger. And
Really?
again, I think of this. It's a weird deviation that they made her a mutant. It's a weird deviation that she doesn't have her polymorph powers. We can look past that for now. But her being like, yeah, I'm just going to be an X-Men now instead of an Avenger, you know, considering she has an Avenger or all of the Avengers
Right.
plastered on her walls.
Yeah.
Could you imagine she's just like, nah, never mind. I changed my mind. I want to be with these guys now. Nah, I think she'll be an Avenger. But yeah, I think
she's going to be an X-Men.
Maybe we'll have to.
I think she's going to, when she finally meets the other X-Men, she's going to be like, yeah, these are my people. I want to be with them.
I think we'll have to make a bet on that.
Maybe.
I think
we got to get further. We got to see. I got to see more to make a bet on. That's wild down the line, I think.
But I think right now, I think it's important to know that we're building to Secret Wars. I think we're going to talk about it more when we do our Phase 4 reflection here soon.
Right.
That right now the MCU kind of feels, in a sense, directionless. We know where we're going. It's just kind of hard to see the road there.
Right. Correct.
We can see the hills where it's like Multiverse of Madness with incursions, WandaVision with the introduction of the multiverse, Spider-Man No Way Home. Where are we going now?
Right.
Where's the next big hill that we're going? Because some of these lows are like Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, like very random.
Yeah.
And again, I think also it's important to know that, like, again, we are building so many different sides of the MCU right now. It's crazy. Again, if you think about it, we're building the Avengers style still, Thunderbolts, Guardians, Asgardians, gods, Celestials, Eternals, and mutants now,
right?
Skrulls, Kree. You just see there's so much right now. It's just my brain is on overload from it. But
yeah,
I think
you got. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
I was just gonna say, unless we got anything more to say, I'm ready to give my final rating of this episode and then of Miss Marvel as a show.
Final rating for this episode, Alex.
I'm gonna shock your system right now. I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10.
I don't hate it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's as good as. I don't think it's a 9. I think it's really, really good. It's the best installment of the show. And overall, for me, I don't have my exact score. I haven't totaled it all, but I think somewhere around a 7.5 for Miss Marvel. I think that's fair.
I did a titsy bitsy rewatch of the show.
Okay.
Before I watched the finale, and mostly because I was printing a Mjolnir head, so I needed to do something time. And after rewatching it, I think I give the show. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Wow.
Massive bump. Considering I was gonna give the show a 50% like 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
What a journey the show's been on.
I like it. And I think when we do our Phase 4 discussion, we'll rank some of the projects a little bit. But
I can make my list right off the top of my head. I've already thought about it all day.
I haven't yet. So I got to
Uh,
think about that. All right, let's get into our second topic now. Let's discuss this new report coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter. And it's pretty big because this also sets something else up in the MCU. This sets up the criminal side of the MCU. So Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are returning for Marvel
what,
series Echo.
what did he
D'Onofrio,
say?
Onfrio. I said Onfrio.
D'Onofrio?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio.
It's
What?
not Onfrio. It's D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
It's not D'Onofrio. It's D'Onofrio. Oh my god, I got me saying it fucking weird.
Vincent D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio.
Vincent did. Oh my goodness, you're, making me, you're talking and I am Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
There you go. There you go.
D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio. There we go.
No. Where are you? Why are you emphasizing the on? Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Okay, did I get it?
Yes, but you're like emphasizing the on. You're going Vincent D'Onofrio. So
okay, so Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vinny D. Going forward.
Reprising their roles as Daredevil and Kingpin in the Echo show.
And the Life of Cox as Maya Lopez. Marvel had no comment.
Do you have thoughts?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Daredevil Season 4.
Really?
You're old, Drew. I don't know if you're seeing it. I am. You're in like 144p right now.
I can tell. Can you hear me still, though?
Yes.
Okay, it should be good now.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be Daredevil Season 4. So...
What if I told you that Daredevil was in
even
2
though
episodes?
I know 2 episodes, but come on, man, Kingpin. Like, I think it's going to be confirmed in the show that the Netflix series are canon.
You think so? I think it would make the most sense, right? Because they're so they
There's-
reference events, right, that happen in the MCU, but they're so disconnected themselves, right? They don't cross
and
over.
that's the important thing to remember. The Netflix shows cross over to the MCU. The MCU does not cross over to the Netflix shows. We don't see We don't see Tony Stark as Iron Man in Daredevil. We don't see Steve Rogers as Captain America in Jessica Jones. So I think it's just good. I think that's just what it's going to be. It's just going to be that we just stop being Daredevil or whatever for a few years, and then
Or he got blipped.
Or something like, who knows?
When did season 3 end?
Ooh, I don't know. Let me check.
I want to say 2018, 19.
Daredevil end. Oh,
Because if it's 18 or 19, it's around Infinity War.
hold on. When was the series finale of Daredevil? October 19th, 2018.
So that's post Infinity War.
Mm.
So you can make the argument that
He was just blipped.
he was just blipped, and he's been gone for 5 years. You could also make the argument that Kingpin was blipped.
Well, no, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Hawkeye talked about in the show going after him as Ronin.
Correct. So he wasn't blipped.
But I don't know.
That's
I don't
right.
know. I don't know how much sense it would make to just for him to not bring up Daredevil.
Yeah, his biggest.
His biggest foe. Where was Daredevil at during Hawkeye?
Right. I think it would make a lot of sense if he was just. Well, just pre-Hawkeye when Hawkeye was Ronin. Because if Daredevil was around, then Clint would definitely know who he was, especially if he was dealing with the criminal underworld. Like that's Daredevil's thing.
Yeah.
They would definitely have crossed paths in New York if Ronin and Daredevil were around. But you could just make the argument
Could you imagine a Daredevil versus Ronin fight?
Matt's smoking him.
No,
You don't think so?
he's not smoke. He'd win, but he's not smoking him.
I think Blind Man wins.
No, he.
I think it's
Yeah,
close.
he would win, but it's not gonna be some like one hit and he's dead. It's gonna.
Nah.
It's gonna be a brawl.
But the thing is like Clint's sword. I don't know what he's gonna do about. Just gonna have to dodge that and just knock it out because we don't see
Well,
much of Clint's hand to hand.
yeah, we do. He took out all those gang members by himself in like 30
Right,
seconds.
right. But those are just stereotypical Kane members. Now, what if he's going up against?
Not one of them.
What if he's going up against the Kane himself of Hell's Kitchen?
Who knows? He's blind.
He doesn't stand a chance. It doesn't matter. That dude puts the.
What if he makes him deaf? Like a deafening arrow. Gotta think, man. Hawkeye's got the tricks. He's got the throwing darts. He's got throwing knives. He's got the bow and arrow. He's got the sword.
So, a follow up. Do you think they cross paths, Kingpin and Daredevil?
Of course.
You think so?
Or at least it sets it up.
Okay. I think that's totally fair.
My thing is this: I'm sorry, I love Maya Lopez, but she's not that interesting to have a whole series based off of her, where you're just like, wow, she was like the breakout character here.
I thought she was good in Hawkeye. I didn't think she was great. I thought she was good, but she gets overshadowed by some things like Elena and Kingpin's return.
Yeah.
So she's kind of underutilized, I would say. She has a really interesting story.
I think my problem is this. Could I justify you making an Echo show or a Hawkeye season 2?
I also think you're probably going to get Kate Bishop in this show.
I do too. So it's at that point, why not make it Hawkeye season 2?
This show is just a cameo fest.
God, bro, Soups and Star Wars Theory are gonna love it. They're gonna love it. Specifically, Soups.
Yeah. So my thing with this is it's one of my favorite Marvel moments is when Matt is just beating the hell out of Kingpin and Vanessa's right there. He's just like, I beat you. And Kingpin's just like, what? Kill me. I feel like that was just like the right ending for that story there. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel. Are they gonna do it justice when they eventually cross paths? I don't think they cross paths. It's rumored that Matt's gonna show up in She-Hulk as a lawyer, right? We're gonna see more of the lawyer Matt Murdock.
Justice.
And we'll get now into some of the rumory territory with what's going to happen at Echo. So it appears that this is potential spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers potentially for Echo, leave now. Daredevil is looking for Jessica Jones.
Well, you might cut out, so we don't know who's looking for Jessica Jones.
Daredevil.
Okay.
And Kingpin, by the end of the show, will be running for New York City mayor.
Vote for your mayor, ladies and gentlemen. Vote for mayor. He's the best mayor there is.
Echo definitely very much feels like the start of the criminal underworld. Hawkeye's the prologue, as I told Alex yesterday. Hawkeye's the prologue.
No. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is. Come on, we got Madripoor in there. Power Broker. It wasn't good. I didn't say
I was going to say, is it a good prologue?
I was going to say, I didn't say it was good. It's the prologue, though.
So, Hawkeye's chapter 1?
Sure.
Well, damn, that's not a good chapter 1 either.
It was an amazing chapter 1.
No.
Yeah.
So,
better than Loki, better than Moon Knight, better than Kenobi, better than The Mandalorian. Just got to accept it, man. We're beyond it.
Peak Eye.
Uh-huh. Pink guy.
You
It
got
sounds
any
like you're
other
saying
thoughts?
pink eye.
Got any?
No. No.
None. I'm excited
No.
though.
Eh.
He's gonna be donning his red suit.
I would rather just have Daredevil uh season 4.
You gotta
And I
get
didn't
that.
and I didn't even watch Daredevil.
You gotta get that. You haven't seen Daredevil?
No, I didn't. I never finished the show.
Wow. All
And
right, let's move on now to our final topic. So this final topic involves a leaked trailer for the Mandalorian season 3. Now this trailer is not new. It is not a new trailer. It is a trailer that was shown at Star Wars Celebration about a month plus or so ago. This trailer features obviously Din Djarin, features Grogu,
no way.
features Bo-Katan with Clone Wars style hair,
No way.
and at the end, we see
The Death Star
Sundari.
remains.
We see
I think
Sundari.
I think mine's more accurate.
Um, Alex has somewhat of a problem with that, as I showed him the leaked trailer yesterday.
Yeah, it kind of got blown up in the Book of Boba Fett, so like,
Right,
I
but the
do
Death
have
Star
a
blew up,
bit of
and there
a
was
problem.
like massive chunks just still available.
That's different.
No, it's not. It's literally the same exact thing. Just suspend your belief. Suspend your disbelief.
I can't do that, bro. There's too many plot holes.
Well, it's like convenient though, because if you look at it, like literally the center of Sundari is still remaining, so it looks like that literally the where the throne is still there, conveniently enough. So, oh my god, if I see
Hey,
Din on a throne, I might.
Din on the throne with the dark saber, bro.
I'm gonna,
Hmm.
I'm gonna lose it.
I know.
But Alex, let me ask you, what caught your eye from this? Good quality phone camera, terrible quality overall
I
trailer.
was I was gonna say you sent me saying it was in good quality, and then I was like, I can't even make out what I'm watching right now.
No, this was better quality than what we were getting. So
I guess that's I don't know, man. I'm just excited to see the Mandalorians fighting each other. We're probably going on to the 80th Mandalorian Civil War.
true.
So like, yeah, man. I'm just I'm just excited. Do you have StreamYard pulled up?
I do. What happened? All right, but back to the Mandalorian.
Sorry, man. I gotta go shave my beard first.
Such a terrible episode.
What? It was an amazing episode.
I can't even have a serious conversation. Okay, but
Mm.
back to the Mandalorian. What was your favorite part of this trailer?
I can taste the tape. My favorite part was when it ended because I didn't have to look at how crappy it looked through the phone camera. No, I'm joking. I'm loopy right now. My favorite part again was seeing the other Mandalorians. I want to see them. I want to see a civil war in live action, and I think we're gonna finally get it.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get it. We saw it looked like some Death Watchy looking Mandalorians. We saw some with new armor. My favorite part, space battles. Now, this is something that's been lacking on Star Wars Disney Plus. Obviously, because of budget reasons and the volume. It won't look good. It won't look good at all.
What's so
Obviously,
funny
there's
about the volume not looking good?
there's nothing funny at all. It was just I laughed at some of the shots from Kenobi and
Yeah.
the Mandalorian, because I'll never forget in the Mandalorian season 2 when the shuttle lands inside of Gideon's ship. It is so bad. It is so bad looking. Like, it's terrible looking.
Well, it was amazing. What were you talking about?
So, I'm really curious to see, and I can already see John and Dave having this conversation. They're like, "Yeah, let's push the volume to the limits." Like, I can already see him saying, "We haven't had an epic space battle yet."
Just rip my beard.
Can't even do the show. Bro.
Oh! Ow! 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 That hurts so
I can't even
bad.
do this show anymore, bro. I'm so pissed.
Ow! Ow! This is why you don't. Ow! Ah! Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. John and Dave were pushing each other to the limit.
Yes, I thought John and Dave. I think they probably said, let's push the technology to the limit. Let's do a whole on space battle. We see that Din is flying in his Naboo starfighter, and there's some Star Destroyers coming after him. Right? There's some Imperial ships. I can't wait to see that. I'm really excited by that.
Yeah, crazy
we've been
to think
lacking.
we're still dealing with the Imperial remnant.
We've been lacking with space battles, especially on Star Wars Disney Plus. And by lacking, I mean we have like none.
What?
We have one in the Gunslinger.
No, so we do have some of them. They're not great, but we do have them.
Right, but they're like ship on ship.
Yeah, we haven't seen like a Battle of Scarif or
right.
Battle
I
of
can't
Endor.
wait.
I know.
Man, this just feels epic in scale. Right, we've been building towards this. What was nice about the Mandalorian season 1 and 2 was it's like it's building up in scale, right? Just building. You're building this cinematic universe, very much so. Phase 1 of the Mandoverse.
I just can't wait because we didn't get to review the Mandalorian season 1.
I know, and we get to rewatch it together. A show I haven't rewatched in about a year, so I'm excited about that. But season 3 just seems epic in scale. With all these Mandalorians, with the armor, we see the armor leaving her covet, and we see her smacking a what is the squid thing called? A Quarren, right? A Quarren in the head. So I'm really curious about where her arc is, and obviously Bo-Katan looks like a menace. She looks like a villain. I don't think she's gonna be a full-on villain. I think she's just gonna be an antagonist that pesters Din's side. And I wouldn't even be surprised if she kidnaps Grogu.
Don't put that out in the universe.
I think she's gonna kidnap Grogu. That's my early prediction. I think she's gonna have a bargaining chip over Din. She's gonna kidnap Grogu.
I think you're gonna get kidnapped.
You got any other thoughts, Alex?
No, man. February can't come fast enough.
No. And by the way, Disney, just drop the trailer. Just drop.
Literally, though. Oh, stop! Don't even get me started. If you were able to show it to people at Star Wars Celebration, you're able to show it to everyone else.
Well, it's not even that. It's like it's leaked online now. Like we literally have it. Just drop it in its HD quality. And it's also weird because like this show looks amazing, even though it's in really bad quality. It looks fantastic. And mind you, this show finished filming at the time of Celebration like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
2 months, like not even maybe. So shout out to the VFX team for getting that all ready. That's just probably stuff they had ready for Celebration, and for them to do that in 2 months was insane. So shout out to them for getting that all done, and I can't wait to see what the show looks like because John and Dave seem to execute the volume so well.
Yeah.
Especially with certain environments. Now there are some environments it doesn't look great in. The desert, they still haven't nailed. Like Tatooine still doesn't look great in some shots. So I'm curious to see how. Actually, I'm really curious to see how Mandalore looks because Mandalore is just desert besides Sundari.
Yeah. Foresty planets look really good on there. The ocean planet looked really good. So. Yeah,
I 100% agree. So, you got anything else you want to talk about? This is like one of our shorter episodes ever.
I know. I'm gonna have to go back and see because this is probably our shortest episode ever.
Yeah.
With us together, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. As always, you could check Alex out on TikTok at Candy and by Van.
I want to say this before you say anything. I actually have a video that I took like 8 hours to make in my drafts, but I am so terrified to upload it.
Go check out Candy and my Van on TikTok where he'll possibly post his 8-hour long draft.
It's a good video.
Check me out as always on TikTok at Hammy D Man. And as always, check us out on TikTok
Oh,
where we don't post on our group account at Wars in the Stars, at the Wars in
oh,
the Stars podcast. As always, may the
oh,
force be with you. May you stay
oh,
burdened with glorious purpose, and we will see you in
oh.
episode number 77, where we will review, or re-review, excuse me, WandaVision. Peace out, everybody.
WandaVision. WandaVision.